This is Valley View News.
DUI costs about $3,000.
Los Angeles police are setting up more DUI checkpoints.
Where do you draw the line? That's just ridiculous.
CSU students will have to dig deeper into their wallets for tuition.
They helped her a lot.
And Children's Learning blooms and See Sunflowers preschool program.
Hello and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Diana Carduno.
And I'm Emma Almendares.
University of California campuses want to recruit out-of-state and international students to boost revenue. The schools want to earn the extra $23,000 in yearly tuition UC charges each non-resident student. The university regents voted to raise undergraduate fees by 8% for the next school year. Officials say the extra tuition from out-of-state students will help support classes and campus life for Californians.
California State University students will be paying more to go to school next year. Valley View's Karen Castro is in the newsroom with the story.
Students got a wake-up call, another tuition hike. The CSU system is having a tough time balancing its budget. Last year, hundreds of university staffers were laid off, and other employees had to take furlough days. The CSU board voted to approve the tuition hike with a 14-2 vote. Thousands of California State University students like these will see another tuition hike.
Where do you draw the line? Because every year it's like 5%. Now it's 15%. Just like you might as well go to a top-end, university now. That's just ridiculous. Tuition fees will go up 15.5% by the fall semester of next year.
I have a year and maybe an extra year I'm going to have to take in order to graduate because all the scarcity of classes and the pressure it is, and now teachers have more pressure as well because they don't have enough time to develop with the students.
Students will see a 5% increase by the spring semester, with an additional 10% tuition hike in the fall. Despite students' protest, CSU officials still passed a proposal. Under the new increases, tuition will go up $105 for undergraduate students for the spring semester and $444 for the fall. But not everyone is against tuition hikes.
Well, I've always thought they should raise tuition, but I think they should raise tuition because I think it would make students think about what they're getting, and I think they would make better decisions. A lot of people go to college and they shouldn't be here.
CSU officials say half of its 430,000 students won't be affected by the increase because of financial aid. But the CSU Faculty Union released a statement saying placing the cost squarely on each individual family means that students must run up debt, which is good for the bottom line of banks that make loans, but not so great for California that needs a strong middle class. Last year, California State University tuition was raised more than 30%. The CSU board is asking the state for an additional $120 million. If they receive the money, the 10% tuition increase for the fall semester will be canceled. Support of state tuition hikes are necessary to balance the severe state budget cuts. This is the fifth tuition increase in the CSU system in the last 3 years. The Board of Trustees voted in favor just one day after the Finance Committee approved it. The University of California system has also proposed higher tuition on all 10 campuses. UC officials say they're also considering reducing pension benefits of future employees. Back to you in the studio.
The House Ethics Committee has been proceeding with the case, but without a defendant. Representative Charles Rangel walked out of his own ethics trial protest. The House panel continued to deliberate the 13 counts of alleged financial and fundraising misconduct. Rangel is the former chair of the Ways and Means Committee and says he's innocent. He says that he has not been able to properly defend himself and needs further legal help. Rangel has reportedly spent over $2 million on his defense.
The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department has been awarded a $1.1 million traffic safety grant. Eileen Carranza reports on a recent Los Angeles police checkpoint in Van Nuys.
Drivers always want to stay sober when heading on the road, but to catch those that don't, the Los Angeles Police Department will be on the lookout. Additional enforcement measures to keep drunk drivers off the road will be taking place. Some drivers feel that sobriety checkpoints are stopping people from driving under the influence, while others feel a little differently.
I think your average DUI costs about $3,000, That's what prohibits people from doing that.
I personally don't really think it stops anyone. I think it's kind of unnecessary, kind of a waste of money.
Officers check drivers for signs of alcohol or drug impairments and for proper licensing. If an officer suspects that a driver is under the influence, the person will have to take a sobriety test. If the driver fails, they can expect jail, vehicle storage fees, license suspension, driving under the influence classes, and other expenses. Lieutenant Manuel Romeral says these checkpoints are more than just an effort to stop drunk drivers.
A form of educating the public to make them aware that we are constantly vigilant, that we want people to have a good time, but just not drink and drive at the same time.
Sobriety checkpoints have been proven to help reduce the number of people injured or killed in alcohol-involved crashes.
Federal studies show that death caused by drunk drivers has decreased by 16%.
In Van Nuys, I'm Eileen Carranza for Valley View News.
A hearing to determine if an Army psychiatrist should stand trial for the worst military shooting in history has ended. Police say witnesses identified Nidal Hassan as the gunman. Dozens of witnesses testified he was wearing an Army combat uniform and shouted, "God is great" in Arabic, and then opened fire. He is charged with killing 12 soldiers and 1 civilian. Defense lawyers presented no evidence, and Hassan, an American-born Muslim, made no statement in the court proceeding. Military officials have not said whether they will seek the death penalty.
Grade school enrollment is down for the 6th straight year in California. But for the first time, the figures show Latinos have become the majority among students. The Los Angeles Unified School District has seen a decrease by about 6,700 students this year. Enrollment reached its high point in Los Angeles about 6 years ago.
Charter schools have attracted more attention since the documentary, Waiting for Superman, criticized the public education system in America. Matt Vanderveer is in the newsroom to tell us more.
Well, supporters say non-union charter schools are the best way to educate students. Teachers' unions disagree. KIPP empowers one charter school in LA that opened last summer and says it's already getting results.
Monkey.
This is just one of the ways kids learn the alphabet at KIPP Empower Charter School. A charter school is a tuition-free, publicly funded school that is typically governed by an organization under a contract with the state. Los Angeles resident Phyllis Hester has a daughter that goes to KIPP. She says she has seen major improvements in her child's development.
A couple of weeks ago, she wasn't reading, and now she sits down and, she can read a book.
This is Phyllis's daughter, Zanea. She says she wants to be a judge when she graduates college, and she has a very simple reason why.
I watch judges on TV.
Teacher MJ Mathis says even her kindergartners have homework.
It's a weekly packet. They're expected to do a couple pages every night, and it's only usually about 15 to 20 minutes worth of activities for them, and most of it are things that they can do independently.
Principal of KIPP, Michael Kerr, says charter schools must follow state rules, but do get flexibility in some areas.
The length of the school day, our focus for the school, a lot of that we can have complete control over. But at the end of the day, we have to make sure that we're getting the results that we said we were going to do in our charters.
Those results most commonly come in the form of end-of-the-year test scores for students. There are some organizations that are against charter schools, mostly teachers' unions. They want to see charter schools being unionized in order to give teachers tenure, which will secure a teacher's position usually for life. But critics say that defeats one of the main purposes that charter schools aim to accomplish, that teachers must be held accountable for student performance. President of United Teachers Los Angeles, A.J. Duffy, says charter schools should be unionized and says test scores alone do not measure a teacher's ability to teach.
The lunacy of this is the concept that you can judge how well a teacher is doing by a student's test score.
UTLA has developed a new plan to unionize charter schools. So far, 3 have signed on. The California Department of Education says success among poor and minority students is improving faster in charter schools than in traditional public schools. And Los Angeles County has the largest number of charter schools in California. Back to you in the studio.